Alright guys, for this step you're going to need a Felpro gasket set, intake manifold gasket set. And there is your part number. Match up that part number because this is the updated one from the old style. The new style has metal intake manifold gaskets. And these been out for a long time. So how did they end up getting, I don't know what the heck they had plastic gaskets, because the plastic gaskets, when you torque them, I think it's big, like 8 or 11 inch pounds, because you can't crack.
I saw a lot of gasket manufacturers that had the plastic ones.
Still had the plastic ones.
Even Marley's had the plastic.
Guys, stay away from it. This one you can tighten it down, you can torque that thing down, and you can only go as far as the metal. This is what you want. Alright, so let's get this set up. Both gaskets are the same. Now, you're going to have two sides to this. One, you see these little pins, these little alignment pins sticking out. Those are going to face up to you. The part going to the cylinder head is this one with two locating pins on each side. And there's one, a metal one, right in the middle. So, you're going to set it in. And there's an alignment hole right here, here, and here. And that's going to be on both cylinder heads. And that's all you, and it tells you right up here, right here, use no sealer, even with the plastic one. So why there was a bunch of gasket, I don't know. So we're gonna line those up, push those into place. Now let's get the other one in there. Now remember when we took out the push rods, and I was like, wait a minute. And when I first started off, I told you guys they're different lengths. And then we looked and it was pretty much the same length. No, they were different lengths, just that they were bent. So, I'm going to set that up. Now, this, guys, is very, very important that you put those push rods in the locating point they're supposed to be at. The exhaust valves has long, matter of fact, here's our push rods. Now you're going to get two part numbers. This one, MPR 475. These are the short ones. These are for the intake. And the exhaust are MPR 471. They're going to be long. Huh? 474. My bad. They're going to be longer. Now we separate them all, put them all in a box already. So if I set these down, you can see some are long and some are short. Shorter ones are for the intake, the longer ones are for the exhaust. So, and this is another thing, be careful because we got a video series up of a Monte Carlo we did, 2004 Monte Carlo, and they had stripped out the holes going up here. Why did they strip those holes out? Because, let me take this up. If you look down into here, down in there are the lifters. Now these lifters are up in the air. If you go over to that hole, can you see in it? Right. Those, you can see how they were down.
They look the same. Am I looking at it wrong?
Maybe. Inside is a metal. Inside is the lifter. And you'll see a little metal piece in there. How it's all the way up. And matter of fact, look at this hole right here. And you can tell that one is down further.
Okay, maybe it's the angle or something. They look the same.
Yeah, okay, look right around here, an angle right here. You gotta look at the side of it. If you need a light, let me know.
Wait, then...
Because you gotta look at the side, because if you look at the side, then you can see.
I see it.
You can see how this one's further up and that one's down.
Okay.
Alright, so while this one is up in the air, you gotta be very careful tightening up this rocker, because the threads are not going to be all the way in. You're only going to grab it a little bit of threads, and a good chance you're going to strip out the hole where the rocker is. At that point, which is a good idea, is turn the engine and let that lifter go down. Because if you try to tighten it up, you're going to be pushing up against the lifter and trying to push that spring, that valve open, which is almost impossible without stripping it. Now, let me get this back lined up over here. Dang it, dropped over the push rods around. Now, there is a procedure. There's set it up the top dead center, which is already is, and you can do certain numbers, but forget that because you got the intake off so we can see this. Now over here, I can see all lifters are pretty much down. You ain't got to look at that. All lifters are pretty much down, and we're still set up with the timing marks top dead center. Over here, all of them are down except for this one and this one. So we can put all of them, tighten them all up except for those two. So let's put this back into place. Now, what we're going to do is over this side first. Now, come around this side. So how do you know which one is your exhaust valve and which one is your intake valve? Now, here's your exhaust ports right here. So the only thing you're looking for is the valve lined up with that port. All right, so we got this one. Which one is the valve, Stevie?
That one.
Okay, this one.
That one.
This one.
That one.
Perfect. Now, if you look at the intake side, here's the intake port. Here's the intake, and it's going over to this valve. This one going over to this valve, so both intakes are together. And then this one, it's right there. So what you're going to do, we're going to do our exhaust. So we're going to get our long. We're going to get 3 long ones. Guys, make sure, because if you mess this up, you will damage this engine. So we got 3 long push rods. So we're going to put our push rods, oops, I'm sorry, into there, down into the lifter, and you can see the little cutout right there, the little oval shape that goes right on top. So that's one. The next one goes right here. I was hoping to see if Stevie caught me. That's the wrong one.
I can't see it. I can't tell from this. I would.
Oh, okay. So this is the next one. So we're going to go right here. And then the last one is right over here. So we got those 3 in. Now what I'm going to do is grab 3 short ones.
Why didn't you have them separated?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 3 short ones. Now 1, 2, and 3. And also, guys, I just noticed this. Look at this. Come around this side and look at the head straight down. You got where your rockers go, the holes. If you notice how this one is further away from you and this one is close to you, the ones that's close to you are the exhaust. All right, that is good. We are looking good on that side, that point. Now we're gonna grab some rockers. Now your rockers are gonna be like this. That can come off, but you don't want that off. Put that in there. Make sure the rocker is not facing like that. Make sure it's in like that so it can swivel. All right. So we take one, and you got a little a line right there. That's going to line up inside the head right there, and there's got a little opening right there. That's where your push rod, the end of your push rod, sets at. So we're going to set that down. Set that down into there like that. Start your bolt off by a couple threads, and that's it. Now remember, now matter of fact, you know what, guys? Let me go to the other side. This one right here is up in the air, right? So which valve is this, Ivy?
That's this one?
Yeah.
The exhaust.
All right. So we're gonna get an exhaust rocker, exhaust push rod. Push that into place. Now remember, this one is all the way up. So what I'm gonna do is grab a rocker now, and I'm gonna set that rocker on it. Set the push. Make sure the push rod is not like that. Make sure that push rod is set in there. Now look how high that sets. Look how high that thing sets. Now when I go to tighten this up, now I can go with some threads, but you don't. Now you're gonna be pushing up against that. Now you might be able to do it. I'm not taking a chance. So when it comes to that, I'm going to turn the engine, and I'm going to have the rocker in there, roll, and I'm going to watch that go down. This one and the other one. But let's loosen that up, because I ain't going to worry about that right now. All right, so now we got one in, and I can bring that bolt all the way down, man. That bolt's like almost flush right now. Grab some more rock. Grab another rocker. I'm going to go to the intake one. Same thing. Make sure that line right there, make sure it's not setting like that, or you're in trouble. Make sure it's lined up just like that. Make sure that push rod is in that lifter, and make sure it's in the rocker right there. And if you notice, these push rods are hollow. There's a little hole in it. That's for oil to shoot through. So, and then on your rockers, you got a little hole also where the oil shoots through and lubricates everything. So let's get this back up here. Okay. Start our bolt down. Bring it all the way in. And just like that. Alright, let's get the rest of them in and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I made a mistake a little while ago. I told you guys it was like 8 inch-pounds. No, I meant foot-pounds. It comes out to like, it's tightened up in 2 sequences. You tighten up these bolts. One is, the first step is 5 foot-pounds, and the second one is 8, maybe 9 foot-pounds. That's for the plastic gasket. I am not going to sit here and tighten this up that light. I'm just not going to do it. I am going to tighten these down. Not crazy, but tighten it down. Alright, we got these started down. Now what I'm going to do is taking my 8mm deep 3/8 drive, or my 3/8 drive ratchet, and come around this side. I'm going to show you. Because your rockers can swivel back and forth. So what I'm going to do here is hold it in place and just bring that down till it barely stops. Because these got to be torqued down also. You definitely don't want to over tighten these, because if you do, you're going to strip the threading out, because this is going in, it is going into aluminum. So I'm just bringing these down, and then we're going to set up our torque wrench, and I'll give you the torque on those. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, now these bolts are tightened down to 31 foot-pounds. Now you want to be very careful because this is going into aluminum. So let's start off with the first one now. Don't go no more, guys, because you will strip that out. And again, my other hand is used here as a brace. And last one. Again, that's kind of tight, so you definitely want to make sure a lot of those threads are in there. That's why I'm going to turn the engine when I tighten up these 2 end ones right there, because that I'm just not looking to take any chance. Even though it does look like it's flushed down there, and I am grabbing a lot of threads. I'll try it. But if you come around this way, now watch this valve starts closing as I tighten this up. Well, the valve is going to start opening, I mean. You see that move down a little bit? Watch again. Oh, let me do it again.
Yeah.
I saw it from here. I'm pretty sure. Just watch this spring starts collapsing.
Oh.
Ready?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it. So, but that's okay?
I'm trying this. I don't like doing this, but I'm gonna try it. Okay, it's tightened up. Okay, it did do it. It's tightened up. I'm not liking it. Well, I'm not liking doing that, but it did tighten it up. Alright, so let's get the rest of these done. Torque them down. Remember, the long ones go to the exhaust and the short ones go to the intake. I hope we didn't skip past that part, or you can cancel Christmas. Alright, let's get the rest of it done and we'll be right back. Alright guys, everything is looking fantastico. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is put on our end seals right here. Now, you're going to have a little lip that hooks on. If you try to put it on this way, as you can see, it won't work, so don't try it. That lip, it's got to be on the inside. Put it on the inside, it lines up perfectly. Now, this thing slides up under, we should have put these on first, but it's okay. Just going to have to pick up on the gasket a little bit and put it up under there just like that. But before we do that, what we're going to do is take you some gasket maker, and
you're gonna blob it on.
Let it blob out. Stick it in each four corners. Okay. Take a seal, pick up on the gasket a little bit, put it in there, bring that down, put that in there, bring that down. Now if you want, you could put a little bit on the edges, but you don't need to. Let's go to this side, pick up on the gasket, put that in there, and put that one in there.
That side's not under.
Son of a biscuit, ain't you?
So remember, when you're doing this, put the end seals first.
Heck yeah. Okay. Now, I think I should have put some on. But no, you don't have to. It seals. That thing like it came back up. But it is down. Okay, let's go get our intake and lower it down. We'll be right back. Alright, we got our intake. Let's lower our intake down. Sure everything stayed in place. Now what you're gonna do is take your short bolts, since they're easy to get to. Right here, let's bring that in there. Start that off by a couple threads. Go to this one. Start that off by a couple threads. This one up. You might have to just slide that intake a little bit. There it is. Son of a biscuit. Let me make sure that gasket didn't move. Okay, it didn't move. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Hold on. Push that this side in. still not going down. You know what? Why am I? Give me that. Where's that extension? Let me get me on a ratchet and extension. There we go. Now it's down. Alright. Let's go to the two in the front. Let's get those lined up. Okay, that's one. And the second one is inside here, down there. Now, our four in the middle. One, two, three, and four. Alright, now that we got them all started, you're gonna go around, just make sure like this side is sticking up right here. Why is this sticking up? So that I don't like, and I don't like this side sticking up as well. It's like something's stopping it from going down. I don't like that. Unless it's just because of the seal down there. Are started. You know, I'm going to start bringing this down. I'm going to see if that comes down. Yeah. Okay. So let's just bring in these just a little bit. The center ones. Just bring these close in the ends. I don't do nothing to them yet. This one we had a wrench on it, but yeah, it's starting to turn in a lot better. Yeah, I think it's just pushing up against that seal at the bottom. So you got to make sure that seal is still in there, which is good. All right, yeah, these are going in a lot easier. So let's get these. Again, I'm not going to talk these down. I'm not listening to the torque specifications on this. I'm going to start from the center. I'm going to snug it down. To bring it down. And then I'm going to go to tighten them up. As a matter of fact, guys, I think for your, I'm gonna snug these down. You see, I'm snugging them down, going to make sure I go down evenly on all these. But we are gonna torque them, but we're gonna torque them our own torque. So now that I got those, let's go to get these end ones in, and then we're gonna torque them down. Be right back. All right, guys, we are gonna tighten this up. You don't have to listen to me if you don't want, but this only do this if you got the metal gasket. I'm going to torque these at, I figure 9 for plastic, 15 foot-pounds. Yeah, 15. So, let's go to this one first. Wow, that seems like low, man. That. But I'm definitely happy with that. Now, 2 on the corner, we're not going to be able to get our torque wrench into. So, this one is inside here. So I'm going to be using my swivel ratchet and, dang it, I got the wrong one. I get that tightened up. But this one I can get to. And get the other one, and we're going to tighten those up best we can with the wrench. But I'm definitely 15 didn't feel like it was kind of tight, but I'll definitely go with that. I'm definitely going to stick with the 15. All right, let's get this others done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got the one right down there. Can you see that one down there?
Yeah. And
I'm using my speed wrench, little swivel head on it. I guess this will be good. Yeah, do this with the front cover off, but it's all good. Okay, I am good to go. Let me see how this feels. Now this is done at 15. Let me see something here. Oh yeah, that feels good right there. 15, guys. Definitely go with the 15 if you got a metal gasket. All right, we are looking good. Let's get this out of the way. This goes over here into there. I think we got a new O-ring for this. We'll put the valve cover on first before we get that in there. And get this out of the way. The next step is, dang it, what the heck? Okay, that goes up there like that. That goes over there. Leave that alone. Oh, you know what? While we're over here, our cam sensor down there. Here's our plug for it. Let's get that plugged up so we don't have to worry about that. Alright, we cleaned our Plenum up already, intake up. Let's go get our new gaskets. Be right back. Alright guys, we got our new Plenum gaskets, and your Plenum gasket is going to have little Christmas tree clips on it. They go into the little hole on the lower intake. Now be careful when you put them in, because if you put them in the wrong way, like you put it like this way, the holes don't line up. So you want to make sure that you put them in where the hose lines up and push them down. This harness right here goes to, I forgot what sensor it goes to, but make sure that's underneath there. Okay. Have one. And then let's go to the other side. Push those in. Okay, now you're ready for your Plenum. Of course, if you don't know by now, this is the part where the throttle body goes. So make sure this section faces towards the front of the engine. So, gonna lower it, and I already got my bolts inside there, so that's what I'm doing is lowering it down and lining up my bolts. Okay. Oops. I guess this wasn't lined up over here. Let's turn this a little bit. Turn them in by a couple threads. Make sure they're lined up. Now on this side, remember when we took these bolts out, there's the two end ones, this is the right side of the engine, has studs on them. This stud will have a 10mm nut on it, and the other one will have a 13mm. So you just want to make sure you got those in the right place. Alright, let's get us a socket. Now these are tightened down to 18 foot-pounds. So let's go get our socket and we're going to tighten them up. Alright, we'll be right back.